Yo guys, it's Two Tone, and here's how I make pain beats for toosii, Rylo Rodriguez, etc. So I'm just gonna play the beat quick, and then I'll show you guys what I did. Oh geez, I put the wrong filter on that. This is my second time recording it. I messed up the first time. So it's supposed to be on that one. Let me just double check that. Yeah, there we go. That's what it's supposed to be. Anyway, so here's how I made the beat, right? I did all the drums in a new pattern, right? And then I just broke them apart at the end. So here's the kick. Brought velocity all the way up. 808, I just copied it, and then I brought it onto like the bass notes of the chords. What I did was I brought the velocity all the way up as well. Then I just did a randomize, but I did it in reverse, so it brings the notes downward, if you know what I'm saying. If you bring it this way, it goes up, but you can't really bring it up because it's already on max, so I just brought it down. Open hats, this is a key part for pain beats, I've realized, just in late 2020, going into 2021. Put high open hats on your kicks and 808s, right? So let me just play it so you kind of hear it. You know what I'm saying, right? If you listen to Rylo Rodriguez's album, No Cap, toosii, they all do that a lot. I don't know if Rod Wave does. I haven't really listened too well. Anyway, yeah, that's just something they do. You want to have a smooth open hat though. Here's what it sounds like by itself. Anyway, as you can tell, I really like using Raz's fucking drums. But okay, then here's the clap. Just a normal basic clap, right? Like Lex Luger one, or whatever the hell his name is. Then just got my basic hi-hats. The way that I got them to look like this and have that realistic vibe was I did this. So brought them all over here. I did beat. I did Control U to chop it. Then I did half beat. Brought them all like that, copy and paste, and then I just brought this down to here, right? And it sounds like this now. So once I had that, I just randomized it. I think I did a 5 or a 7, and then yeah, it was something like that. It was pretty much like that. I don't know if bipolar was on or off. Something else I like to do to my hi-hats is I do the panning effect. I'm pretty sure I did that on these ones. Let me just double check. Yeah, the panning's like that. So I randomize it with bipolar on, usually about 5 or 10%. I think it just gives it a more realistic sound. And then for kind of rolls and everything, I did a different open hat. Just something a little bit dirtier. It's a lower frequency than the one that's just tapping the whole time. And I brought that in afterwards. This is a really key thing that you want to start doing is don't have all your instruments drop in the beginning of the chorus and play the whole chorus, because that kind of gets repetitive. This way it's simple in the beginning, they can catch the groove and everything, and then you add that ear candy for the last part. I saw Bass One do that, if you know him. I think it was, I want to say it was TNT that did it in one of his beat breakdowns with producer grind, but I could be wrong. There's a lot of people are doing it now. It seems to be what's popping, right? And then for the snare, just more ear candy. It's just just a bounce like that. Nothing of course it's super simple patterns that are repetitive, but what makes it kind of not repetitive is the fact that I'm taking stuff out, I'm adding it, It's quiet, so you're not hearing it too much. Anyway, yeah, so that's that. And then here's like a major key for making it sound realistic. You want to randomize everything, like randomize the velocities, but then you also want to take stuff off the grid. So I take everything off the grid in this beat except the open hats, the 808s, and the kicks. So what I mean by that is on my snares, like Illmind showed me how to do this when I went to one of his producer meetups. So when you put stuff on the grid, like on here and shit, it looks like that. But what you want to do is like drag it off by like 1, 2, sometimes even 3. I usually just do 2 max. For my hi-hats, I usually do 1 or 2. Claps, I do 2. Perks, I do 2 or 3. Anyway, it's like that for my hi-hats here as well. I'll show you. Took them off by 2. This one, it's back by 1. Yeah, so I think it just makes it sound more realistic, especially with the randomized velocity and whatnot. Then I just brought everything into the mixer. I got my melodies to around like 18, right? And I mixed my beat a little bit differently this time. I was trying just kind of something new. I left my kick just as is. Like I literally didn't turn the volume down, I don't think. Yeah, the volume's just on default. The only thing I did was bring it to the max velocity. So it's this loud. Right, it's going like just above 3. That's what it's sounding like compared to the melodies. And then I did my 808, so it's like my 808 is like this, so it's just under 6. And here with the kick, here's what it sounds like. But what I like to do, like I don't really know how to show someone how I mix, you know, like I'm kind of new to this whole video and teaching shit. But what I usually do is I get my melodies proper, like at the right volume, then I get my kick, then I add stuff in gradually. So what I would have done is I would have done this. I just want to make sure it's at the right thing. Okay, there we go. So yeah, I would have done that, and I just did that for the rest of them, right? So here's what like the open hat sounded like next. I usually keep my open hats around like 36 to 30. That's just something I learned. If you ever take like the Internet Money mixing course, they kind of show you like what volumes each drum or each frequency should kind of be at. And I don't follow that like to a T, but I kind of like take that into consideration when I'm mixing. And you know, my claps tend to be around 15, 12. Hi-hats, they generally are around like 21 to 18. And then the rolls, I think I did quieter just because I didn't want them to stand out as much. Yeah, exactly. So perks I like to keep around 36 to like 24 usually. And then yeah, so snares and claps are around like 15, 12. So yeah, there's that. And then, you know, I did the riser, right? For my risers, I just like to make them quiet so that, like, I'll show you. So it sounds quiet, right? Like with the melody, it's kind of like a little bit quieter than the melody. And then when that first 808 comes in, it sounds hard as fuck. Like, here's what it sounds like when the riser's too loud. It makes the drop sound weak as fuck, right? So you gotta have the quiet risers. Yeah, so after that, I really just did reverb on, I should have done it on my open hat, but whatever. So I did the same reverb for each of these drums. I just copy and pasted it, but it looks like this. I think the only thing I did was I brought the decay down to 0.8. Then I brought this down to 2.5. And then I think I just clicked reset on the wet when I opened it up first. I think that's all I did. Yeah, and then what I did is I just brought this down to 13. I really just dragged this down until it sounded right to me. Anyway, and I just copy and pasted it all on there. So that was it for mixing. Like I don't think I did anything else. Yeah, there's the love filter, which was that one effect I had here. If you don't know how to do that, it's just presets. It's just simple triangle low pass. It's just that one. Then you do an automation clip. Anyway, then for my master, this is a major key that I've been learning. Like, I think Overlord Kane showed me this in a video, and then he also had it in his drum kit, and then a few other people. One Desro, if you guys know him, guy's a fucking boss at melodies. But yeah, he was showing me. I did a consultation with him. He showed me like on his master, he always raises the highs just because it makes the hi-hats sound more crispy. It just makes them sound nicer. And then a soft clipper. I made it just look like this. Usually I put it on max, but because the kick and 808 were so loud already, I just turned it down. And really all this is doing is raising the volume. It's not compressing, it's not doing anything like that. Then right after that, I put on a soft clipper just on default. So kind of just to simplify this first soft clipper is just making it louder, and then this soft clipper is just clipping everything over 0, right? So let me show you. Right, it's going over 0. You put this one on, and now it's there. So that now there's no clipping distortion. Sometimes if you listen to your beats and you find that the high end is like too much, right? Like it's just kind of like killing your fucking ears. What I like to do is I put on FabFilter DS. So this is just a de-esser. Audio engineers put this on pretty much every song, right? Like they put it on every person's vocals. They put it on every master generally. They might do a different kind of template, of course, but because I'm lazy, I just do like the default here, high-end transient limiting. And what this does is things that are like high-pitched sounds that are going to hurt your ears, it's just going to lower. So here it is. Right, so it's just like the green is showing that it's chopping out some high frequencies that over time are going to hurt your ears, because the higher a pitch is, the more harsh it's going to be when you're listening to it long term, especially at a high volume. So anyway, I would generally throw that on. I just hadn't done it this time. But anyway, I'm going to leave it on. But yeah, that's really just how I make all my pain beats. I like to keep them pretty simple. You know, I don't have like a shitload of instruments. What is it? It's 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 6 drums, or 7 drums, sorry. And it even started out with just 5. So yeah, I'm going to cut this off before it goes on too long, but that's generally how I do the drums. We're going to do a melody tutorials and all that good stuff soon. So subscribe. I hope this helped out, and let's get it.